This episode is for the girlies who are stuck in a cycle of failed relationships and situationships. You just can't seem to find a guy to treat you the way you want to be treated, and you're losing hope. I used to be that girl a few years ago. I thought that what I wanted in a relationship was just too much to ask for, and that was a fairy tale dream that I was living in. I tried so many different tactics to get my relationships to work, from being the chill and easygoing girlfriend to playing hard to get to downloading dating apps and just dating a bunch of guys hoping to find at least one that matches my energy. But after I took a break from dating and went on a self-discovery journey that I am honestly still on today, I learned that what I wanted was not too much. In fact, it was not even enough. I could have asked for so much more, but clearly I didn't think I was worth that much. And because of this belief that I had that what I wanted was too much and there were no good guys out there, I made it my reality by reaffirming these beliefs by dating only bad guys. But in this generation, I would honestly argue that there are even better guys out there, and there can be better relationships to be built because of how emotionally aware some of us are and how mental health is becoming such a big thing now. And people are more willing to go to therapy. I mean, back then, nobody believed in therapy. Even now, like older people that I talk to still don't understand why people need to go to therapy. So if you would like to get out of your bad dating cycle and build healthy relationships, then don't worry, because your online bestie is here and I got you. Hi everyone, I'm Charlize Chu, the host of the Online Bestie podcast, where I talk about all things self-improvement, wellness, relationships, so we can all be the best version of ourselves. And if you want to hear more episodes like this, then make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and rate and review on Spotify. The first thing we're going to do is stop settling. And settling does not necessarily mean that you're in a committed relationship with someone that you know is not the best person for you. Settling is you continuing to entertain any sort of relationship that isn't the right one for you. That could be the guy from Hinge that you'll see every now and then when you're bored, or the F-boy on your phone that you constantly text. Or settling could even be the ex that still follows you and you post thirst traps to make him jealous. These are all different types of settling because you are putting your energy onto people that aren't treating you the way you deserve and the way that you know you need to be treated. And this is why you think that you're never going to be able to find someone, because you are constantly surrounding yourself with these boys who are not the right ones for you. And when you continue to surround yourself with these type of people, you only continue to attract those type of people as well. So that's why it's also really important to make sure that you are friends with people who are not in toxic relationships as well. Because when I was in a cycle of toxic relationships, it was because I was going to my friends who also had like very toxic mindsets and seeing what they're doing in their relationships and asking for their advice, because that was like what was normalized for me. So if my boyfriend had done something that I felt like I didn't like as much, I would just think that's normal because all my other friends' boyfriends do that as well, or the guys I hang out with, they do that as well. They think it's normal. But as I grow and become a more secure and healthy person, I stray away from toxic people just because I don't need to hear that stuff, because I don't think it will influence me positively. And I don't have any toxic thoughts going in my ear being like, oh, I would be so mad if he did that, or he shouldn't have done that. I would never let my boyfriend do that, because it's all negative and it's not going to be any benefit to me. And even when you're dating or talking to someone just for fun and you just tell yourself, well, I don't actually care about them that much, so they can do whatever they want or it's fine. If your goal is to find a healthy, committed relationship, then you're only holding yourself back by focusing on this person that you don't even care about. Not only are you holding yourself back from finding a better relationship, but you're holding yourself back from finding a better you. Because the effort, whether you want to say it's big or small, that you put into these guys that do not serve you, that is an act of disrespect. You only say you don't care about someone if you're trying to prove something to yourself, because if you genuinely respected yourself, you would not waste any time or energy onto someone who is not fit for your life. So I don't want to hear another, oh my god, he's so annoying, but you still text him back every time, or I would never date him, but you show up at his house every night. And you don't need to feel ashamed about this, okay? We're girls, we've been there, we've done that, I've done that before. But if you want to reframe your reality, you need to change your actions, and you can start that right now. You don't need to wait until the new year. You don't need to wait until next week. You can start now. So delete the contact, block them, do whatever you need to do to change your actions. It would not be a dating episode if I did not give a personal story about my relationship with Junie, because when it comes to like letting things go and being open to receiving better people, I feel like the way me and my boyfriend came about just perfectly represents this. My relationship with Junie really only started when we were both in better places in our lives and really just started to let every other person in our life go, or especially for me, it was genuinely all about timing, because me and Junie, we had known each other for a year before we started dating, and when we first met, I had just gotten out of a bad relationship. I still needed a lot of healing and self-discovery to do. Obviously, when I first met Junie, I was attracted to him, okay? But I didn't feel any of like signs or energy that like pulled me towards him and made me feel like, you know, this could be a thing, or, you know, I want to pursue this. We were strictly just friends for a year. In the next few months, that was when I took a break from dating. I was truly trying to find myself and understand what I wanted in my next relationship and set my boundaries so I knew like what my non-negotiables were. And during this time, I would also manifest in my journal so much. I have it right here. I would say things like, I want to give and receive the fullest love and respect. I want to find a healthy and respectful relationship. I respect my boundaries. I am a confident woman. And I would just literally manifest that every single day. And finally, after half of a year, I decided that I was gonna start dating again. I downloaded Hinge, went on a few dates, had some short-lived situationships. But let me be clear, none of these guys were even close to being like potential candidates of being my next boyfriend, because the values were just not similar. Some of them did not even want to be in a committed relationship. You could tell. Not saying that they were bad people, but it was just like they weren't the right person for me. And when I say short-lived situationship, I genuinely mean short-lived, okay? Because as soon as I felt like something was off and I was not spending my time well, or there just wasn't anything there for me to continue, I would cut them off. I would be like, hey, this isn't working out, like I'm gonna go, and I would stop texting them and I would unfollow them, like out of sight, out of mind. There's literally no need, in my personal opinion, to follow anybody that you had a romantic relationship with and you're not gonna pursue, because I'm not gonna be friends with these people. After doing this repeatedly for like a month or two, I just felt like it was time to delete the dating apps, because every week I would have a guy on my phone that I was texting, and it just genuinely felt like there was nothing there for me. Like I was not finding anybody that I felt like were for me. I just felt like I could find better, okay? As soon as I delete the dating apps, I am not talking to anybody. My mind is clear. It is like the universe sent me what I've been looking for, and that thing was Junie. There were just so many more opportunities for us to see each other. We were DMing a lot more. He was replying to my stories. We were hanging out a lot more, and then I just felt the energy. Like I felt like there's something here for us to actually make it a thing. And the reason why it wasn't so clear before was because, first of all, me and Junie, we do not live in the same state. We literally live across the country from each other. Just did not feel realistic at all to even think about pursuing it. He was probably going on dates. I was seeing other people as well. Like our focus was probably on those people, not on each other. But then it just seemed so clear, you know, we were seeing each other so often, and we would see each other whenever we would go home to the Midwest, because we were both from the Midwest. I would go to LA a lot for work, and he is exactly who I'm looking for in a partner. He is super emotionally mature. He's very respectful. He's very secure. And that is when I told him, like, if we want to make this work, we can make it work, because we are just right for each other, and we've made it work ever since. This is why I strongly believe that like the universe has a plan for you, and if someone shows you that they're not good enough for you, then that means that there's someone out there who is better and is waiting for you. Me and Junie had known each other for so long, but didn't get together until the timing was right. We learned so many lessons. We dated people and knew they weren't right for us. We knew what we wanted. And that's why I think our relationship is so strong too. We even talk about this now a lot. Like if we had started dating, like when we first met, we don't think the relationship would be as strong and healthy as it was now, because we didn't do any of that healing and inner work. Okay, now let's talk about dating non-negotiables, because if you want to weed out the bad apples, then you need to understand what is a good apple to you. Dating non-negotiables is literally what it sounds like. They're the non-negotiables that you must have have when you're dating. I used to just date anybody and anyone and give the time of day to everyone because I didn't know what non-negotiables were. I was just kind of looking for the connection. And with long-term relationships, you cannot just focus on that spark or that romance, because you can have that with anybody, but this is someone you might spend the rest of your life with, so you need to make sure that their lifestyles and values fit with yours. Having these standards do not mean that it's gonna make it harder for you to find someone, because honestly, I think it makes it easier for you so you don't waste your time and energy on guys who don't meet your non-negotiables. Because as soon as you realize, hey, you know what, you don't have the same value as me, bye. The reason why you think it's so hard is because you are still spending this time looking for guys who don't fit your non-negotiable, and you are wasting all that energy on them when you could be turning your head and finding someone who checks all your boxes. A common dating non-negotiable that we all hear is that the guy has to pay on the first date. So if you go on a date with a man and he wants to split the bill, then you know, hey, you know what? This guy is not for me because he doesn't have the same values as I do. Doesn't necessarily make him a bad guy, but that just means that your values don't align. If a guy does ask you to split the bill, you can just straight up and be like, hey, you know what? I prefer if you pay for the bill, and see what they say. Personally, for me, a dating non-negotiable that I have is making sure that my partner does not like to drink and go out partying every weekend. Like, that's not their lifestyle, because that is not my lifestyle. If I am meeting someone and I'm going on a date with someone and they tell me that they like to drink on their free time and just go out to the club, then I know, hey, you know what? This person is not for me. We could have had a really great connection, but I have to think for future me, you know, long-term wise, this probably won't work out. I'll probably get upset because my partner is going out and drinking every night and I don't want to do that. Think about your future relationship. Don't try to force someone to change, and don't try to force yourself to change for someone else, because that's just going to make you guys feel a lot of frustration and anger towards each other, because you are trying to be someone that you're not, or you're trying to make them be someone that they're not. So if you meet someone and they like partying and drinking a lot, but you don't like it, and you guys start to date, and you're gonna start to tell them, hey, I don't want you to do it as much anymore, or I want you to stop. That is your own fault for getting into a relationship with someone that you knew you didn't like their lifestyle. People just want to date, and they know what they're getting into, but then once they get into that relationship, they're like, I don't like this anymore. But that is your fault. You should have known. You should have communicated what your non-negotiables are, or you should have found someone else. Journal prompts time. This is like my favorite part of every video. So I'm gonna read your journal prompts from last week, which is what were your SMART goals for the 75 hard challenge or for 2025. Catherine Tran 6744 says, my SMART goal is to learn a new Korean word and cook a new Korean dish every week until I start my business internship in Korea in January. I also plan on vlogging my 2-month internship experience there for Reels and TikTok. Do you have any tips on where to begin, how to plan out my videos, and how to edit and post them in a timely manner? Thank you so much, Shar. I love these videos and I just know they're going to blow up soon. That is so sweet. Oh my gosh. First of all, I love that SMART goal of like learning a Korean word and dish every week, because you're gonna be fluent, or at least you'll know so much more than before. As for filming and content creation, it's definitely something you need to get used to. So I would definitely just get into the habit of filming every single thing in your life. Even if you don't end up posting that, just get in the habit of picking up your phone, filming, talking to it, because that's honestly the hardest part. Even now, sometimes I will forget to do that. If you're looking to post consistently, I would try once a week. Find a day every week that you are going to post something. I like to personally edit on CapCut. Do what works best and make it easy for yourself. Figure out what style you like, because everybody has a different technique. This next entry from Laura says, hi bestie, my SMART goal for this month is to read one book. The book I chose is 300 pages. Really enjoy your podcast. Thank you so much for making this podcast. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. And I love this goal because I feel like reading one book a month is very doable. That's like 10 pages a day. Someone else also had a reading goal. This is from Cami. She said, hi Shar, I love your podcast and videos. My SMART goal for this month is to read more books. I've been checking out all these books, but I never find the time to read them. So I want to achieve to read at least one book per week or 2. I want that productive fall reading that makes me feel like I achieved something. Love you so much. Love you, Cami. I also love this goal. I'm glad you guys are all doing reading goals, I feel like it just kind of enriches your mind. I'm so proud of everybody for creating these SMART goals, and I hope that they're going so well for you. So for this week's journal prompt, I want you guys to tell me, what are your dating non-negotiables? What must your partner have or must they not have? You can be very specific, you can be very broad with it, however you want, but comment it below and I will read it in the next Online Bestie episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed this so much. I love making these relationship videos for you. I feel like it makes me a better person. It helps make you a better person. I will see you guys on the next Mindful Monday. Bye!